Have you ever wondered what the greatest monuments of our era really are? Sure, the pyramids still inspire awe, but today, humanity's most ambitious creations aren't made of limestone or bronze. Instead, we're building invisible megastructures from chips, code, and raw electricity. Sounds dramatic, right? But let's consider this. While ancient pharaohs marshaled thousands to move stone, today we coordinate millions of processors working in perfect harmony, all hidden in places you'll never tour on vacation. Now, you might be thinking, but can lines of code really compare to a pyramid? Here's the twist. Unlike the monuments of old, our digital creations grow, adapt, even decide for themselves. They're not just symbols of power. They're active engines of influence. Let me tell you a story. The world's fastest supercomputer can solve in 1 second what would take a human brain 4,000 years. That's not just a feat of engineering. It's a leap in what we define as civilization itself. Let's break down two technical terms: data center and algorithm. A data center is like a modern pyramid, except instead of housing a king, it houses millions of servers humming in a climate-controlled vault. An algorithm? Imagine a recipe, but instead of baking bread, it sifts through trillions of pieces of data to find something meaningful. These are today's true monuments, ones that shape your life, whether you notice or not. But here's the conflict. Unlike the pyramids, you can't touch these structures, and you certainly can't see their builders. Are we comfortable with that kind of invisible power? We're entering uncharted territory, and the stakes aren't just who builds the tallest, it's who controls what can't be seen at all. In a world of hidden megastructures, maybe the most important question is this: will we become their architects, or just another layer in their foundations? Let's dig deeper. Let's paint a picture. Once, kings built cathedrals to scrape the sky. Today, engineers design server farms that consume more power than entire cities. How do we keep these digital behemoths from overheating or collapsing under their own weight? That's the new frontier of science and engineering. Take the term thermal management. Sounds dry? Imagine trying to keep a volcano cool. That's what it's like preventing a supercomputer from melting down. We're talking about using liquid metals, even situating servers deep underground or in the ocean, just to keep them operational. And then there's quantum efficiency, a fancy way of saying, how much useful work can we squeeze from each electron? Every breakthrough stretches what's physically possible a little further. Now, you might ask, why keep pushing the limits? Because every new layer of technology unlocks fresh power. Not just faster computers, but smarter AI, safer medicines, even cleaner energy. But there's tension too. As we automate more, we rely on systems most of us barely understand. What happens if those cooling systems fail or quantum circuits glitch? Let me give you a real-world scenario. In 2021, a cloud provider's cooling failure knocked out major websites worldwide. Billions lost, all from one overheating server farm. The lesson? Our digital megastructures are both incredible and incredibly fragile. So here's your takeaway. Every time you stream a movie or send an email, you're leaning on feats of engineering as bold as the cathedrals of old. But unlike a stone spire, these systems need constant vigilance, or they might vanish in a flash. Why are governments obsessed with microchips? Because in today's world, AI isn't powered by ideas alone, it's fueled by silicon. Chips have become the new oil, and whoever controls their flow controls the future. Let's unpack what's at stake in this hidden arms race. Consider the term supply chain. It sounds harmless, right? But in reality, it's a global web so delicate that a single missing piece can halt entire industries. And fabless manufacturing, that's where companies design chips but outsource their production, often to just a handful of factories in Taiwan or South Korea. Imagine building all the pyramids in one neighborhood, and everyone wants a piece. Now, you might say, it's just tech. Why the drama? Here's the conflict. These chips power everything from stock markets to missile guidance, from cancer research to TikTok. When countries can't get them, economies stall, militaries falter, and daily life stutters. Let me tell you about the 2021 chip shortage. Car factories stopped cold. The price of electronics soared. Even hospitals scrambled for basic equipment, all because a few silicon wafers didn't make it across the ocean. So here's the resolution. Today's megastructure isn't just a tower or a bridge. It's the global network of chip makers, engineers, and politicians fighting for control. The next world power may not be crowned by armies, but by those who master the tiniest technologies. Let's turn the lens from nations to individuals. You might wonder, how do these invisible megastructures impact you and me? The answer is more intimate than you might think. AI doesn't just shape our infrastructure. It shapes our very desires, choices, and fears. Think about the term predictive analytics. Imagine a digital fortune teller crunching every detail of your online life to guess what you'll do next. Then there's behavioral nudging, small, data-driven tweaks in your digital world designed to steer your attention, your wallet, or even your sleep schedule. Now, you might be thinking, am I really that predictable? Here's the conflict. The more data these structures collect, the more accurately they can map and influence who we are. Sometimes for good, sometimes for profit, and sometimes for purposes we never agreed to. Let me tell you a story. In 2018, a social media platform used AI to predict when teens felt vulnerable, then targeted them with ads. The backlash was swift, but the capability remains. We're both the builders of these systems and the bricks. So the resolution? Our new monuments aren't just built outside us, they're built from us. That's both empowering and a call for vigilance. To shape the future, we must first understand the blueprints being drawn from our lives. Let's wrap up with a sobering thought. The pyramids have stood for 4,000 years. Our digital megastructures, they could disappear in an instant. Why are they so fragile? And what does that mean for our future? Here's where two technical terms matter: cyber attack and resilience. A cyber attack is like a digital earthquake, invisible, sudden, and devastating. Resilience